Oh, hey, where are you
Ended
guys?
a little early.
Seems like I just saw you.
About 30 seconds ago.
So we'll get a few minutes to see if how many people will come in.
Hey, do they have the view count on here or?
Yes, up
I
in
don't
the
remember.
upper corner. It was 3. We've already lost 1.
Oh, I see it up there. Yeah, there we go. All 3 from Facebook. Hello, Cody.
Oh, Cody. Cody says hi. Cody had a good idea last time. Thank you all
was
for
Cody
the
the one?
services.
Yeah. Was Cody the one that was talking about the Pepsi trucks? Pepsi drivers?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Thank you, Jenna.
All right. So tonight we're joined by Michelle Osborne. She is the older sister of Lauren Ashley Willhoit. Did I say that last name correct?
Yeah.
Lauren went missing December 28th, 2022 from Melrose Park, Illinois. Michelle, welcome and thank you so much for speaking to us tonight.
Yes, thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about your sister, how she was growing up? Seems like you've known her for a few years, correct? Like her whole life anyway.
So she is 8 years younger than me, and then we have an older brother. He's 10 years older than her, and she was always just that spunky, crazy, silly, goofy kid. She always wanted to do everything that me and my brother did. I remember my brother played football for the town that we grew up in, and I was a cheerleader for a year or two. I don't like to talk about that too much, but I was. And my sister ended up convincing my mom to sew her a outfit that matched our uniform. So she was basically our little mascot, and she just run around doing
That's cute.
half cartwheels, and I mean that was her up until the day she went missing. Still that same goofy kid.
Yeah.
And that's I've got some pictures showing on screen here now, and that's definitely something you get from these pictures. That her faces are very funny.
Yeah,
seems like she was quite the character.
She was.
Yeah, that's a bit of an age gap there with the kids too. It must have been like raising like a almost not quite a kid, right? But like a niece or a nephew.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I remember eating her, making bottles for her, changing her diaper. Like very weird when you think back on it.
Yeah. What were some of Lauren's hobbies?
Growing up, she liked to play sports. She did volleyball and soccer. Soccer was mine too. Again, following in the footsteps. And then just, hanging out with friends, listening to music, like going to concerts, your normal teenager kid things.
So if you wouldn't mind, can you go into the last time you spoke to her?
Yeah, it was actually December 28th. She had called to see, just how things were going, because Christmas just happened, and actually get to see her over Christmas. And so she was calling to see, if we could get together soon, and what I wanted for Christmas, what my son wanted, the husband. And then I was getting some ideas from her about what she wanted. And, we had plans to meet up over the next couple weeks. And it was just like a normal everyday conversation. Didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary. It was pretty much it. It wasn't too long of a conversation, maybe only 10 minutes, but.
Right.
Did she
so
mention
you
any
guys were
plans? Sorry. I don't know why that's happening tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of
did she mention any plans that she might have?
Not that I can recall. And I tried taking a lot of notes, within those next few days up until probably a couple months, trying to like rack my brain to remember what we talked about. But no, I don't remember anything specific. We just had the kind of, all right, we'll get in contact again over the next couple weeks and meet up. I lived in Indiana and she was Illinois, so it was not like you could just go and stop by. It was something you needed to make an actual plan for. And we just never got around to it.
Right.
Does Lauren have any children?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm missing one, America. Sending you love, Michelle. Thank you guys for doing this for Lauren. And Susan is actually the one that reached out to us to ask us to cover this case. So thank you, Susan, for bringing this to us. Now, you have children?
Yeah, I have one son.
One son. And how about your other brother? Does he have any kids?
Oh, he's got a bunch. 5.
So is she a pretty involved aunt? Someone that would want to be close to her family as much as possible?
Yeah, I mean, she tried every chance she could. Yeah, she loved all of her nieces and the one nephew.
Yeah. Well, it sounds just from the way you're talking, like even like following up even after Christmas to get plans together, because normally for a lot of people, you'll have your Christmas and then you go like, okay, now we'll have a week or two away from family, but you guys are still right at it right after and wanting to talk and make plans for the next thing. Like it definitely seems like you guys are a really really tight family.
Yeah, I mean, she's been there for everything in my life other than my first 8 years, which I don't really remember much from that anyway. But yeah, I mean, she was there for important things, and we as family we all talk as often as we can. It's not every day, but as often as we can.
Hey everyone, thanks for all you do. I'm late but trying to catch up. Justice for Rob Morrison Jewers. Thanks for joining us. That was on YouTube.
So the what was, as far as your understanding, what was supposed to happen that day with her that she did go missing?
From what I was able to gather, because she never told me, so it's I guess more or less hearsay, but the boyfriend told me she was going to meet up with a friend at a hotel for a couple days. New Year's was coming up. And I don't even know if he knew who, but I don't know who she was going to go meet up with. And I didn't know what hotel, and I don't think the boyfriend really did either. Or it took a while for us to narrow it down to which hotel it was that she did go to.
And what hotel was that?
It was the Best Western. O'Hare was somewhere in there because it's close to O'Hare Airport. And it was in Franklin Park, Illinois.
Franklin Park, right. Now there should have been security footage of that because it was a chain hotel.
Yeah, and unfortunately, by the time we figured out which specific hotel it was, that specific Best Western only keeps their footage for 5 days, and I think it was somewhere around 2 weeks when we figured out which hotel it was, so it was all gone.
That seems like such
this is
silly policy.
A year ago.
Right. Like data storage is not expensive in 2 weeks. I mean, 5 days worth, that's not very much.
Yeah.
Especially for a chain like Best Western. So.
Right. And we even went and canvassed the area a little bit, I think Susan's still doing it. And there's not even a lot of just other businesses that have cameras either. So it's just kind of like a dead zone almost, which doesn't help.
Right. The what about the employees? Did the cops speak to any employees about them being there?
Yeah, so the lead detective ended up going, and he did get a list of all of the rooms and who rented them for that 3-day period. So they do know whose name the room was under. I'm not going to say just because I don't want to hinder the. Hopefully, it's still.
Right.
But yeah, so they do know who. But as far as I know, they have not been able to make contact with that person yet either.
Oh wow!
It's
So
weird. Are they from out of state or?
Yes, that person was from Indiana.
Does the boyfriend recognize the name at all, or no?
Yes, the boyfriend does know that person, and only because of my sister. Like they had just kind of met in passing type thing.
Right.
Okay. So
what is the? Oh, go ahead.
Are we? Do we know that for sure she made it to the Best Western?
Not really. No. The boyfriend.
I heard you had talked on another podcast about some photos that she had taken, the last photos she had taken. Can you describe those to me?
Yeah, the last photo was actually in front of, it was one of those, selfie things. And I forget who it was. It wasn't me that noticed it. It was somebody else who was helping me kind of dig through everything. And they, like zoomed in on it and they were like, oh, look. And I think that's how we ended up finding out which hotel it was, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because it had the Western whatever O'Hare on the sign in that picture. And so I had gotten into I'm in like her iCloud, her Apple, most of her emails. I'm on her Facebook, Snapchat, all of those things. Between me and the boyfriend, we were able to come up with enough password possibilities that I was able to get into the majority of them. So that's how I got that photo, because I don't think she ever posted it anywhere. It was iCloud.
So me being the conspiracy guy, I'm wondering if she felt like there was a need for her to take that picture to show where she's at. Was she uncomfortable going there?
So I agree with you, because looking through all of her photos that were on the cloud, she had a lot where she would, she'd take an Uber to go somewhere because she didn't have a car, and she would screenshot the driver and the picture of the app.
Right.
So yeah, I think maybe, but I don't know who she would ever send him to. The boyfriend never said that he would, I don't know that I ever asked him that either.
Well, in case something happened, people could get into it and find out. Like that's not a bad idea in today's world, is to do that sort of thing. Have some insurance policies that, like, I know that I have stuff backed up onto my computer for my family if something were to happen to me, to get into all my stuff. But I did have one quick question. Was anything? Did she have a phone or purse or anything that was left behind, or when she disappeared, did all of that stuff go with her?
No, as far as I know, everything that she brought with her left with her, because the hotel, when the lead detective went there, they didn't have, they didn't remember finding anything in that room. Doesn't mean that there wasn't, and hotel workers do whatever with it. I have no idea, but I think all she had from the pictures was just like a purse and whatever she was wearing, and that was it.
Right. Now and just to get this out of the way, like, because she's so close, she's not the type to just run off, right? Has she ever kind of gone missing before, or like been away for a few days? Like, this is obviously months later, so.
Yeah, no, even just my parents, they have always talked to her at least once a week, if not multiple times. I may not have talked to her every week, but I talked to her at least once a month over the phone. And so as far as I know, no, she's never just gone away and disappeared. The boyfriend said that she would leave for a day or two, 3 tops. 4 would have been like way max, but she would always say, hey, after a day or two, hey, I'll be home in, a day or two. I'm just still hanging out with so-and-so. Or so, yes, very out of the ordinary, has never done anything like this.
Do you know, did they search the room, like police? Did they do anything forensically in the room? Do they have any dogs or Anything like that?
I was never told whether they did or not. As I said, it was like 2 weeks later. And with it being a hotel right by the airport, I don't know that they would have gotten anything if they did anyway. But I was never told one way or another whether they did or not.
Do you have any idea who the police are thinking or who they're looking into about this? Like, do they have any idea whatsoever?
So it's really hard because it's the Cook County Sheriffs, right? So they encompass Chicago and more. So it's unfortunate, but there's shootings and deaths and things like that every day in Chicago. So the detective is getting pulled away and pulled away and pulled away.
Right.
So, I mean, even just I'm trying to back off a little bit, but not, I'm still texting and calling as often as I can to try and, like, hey, are you still doing this? Are
Right.
you
You have to be persistent with stuff like this.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know what they're still doing. They really didn't tell me a whole lot as far as who they think or what they think. It's all just been very short, like couple word text messages, like no, nothing, no news, no updates. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Teresa says, you're an amazing person, and Sister Michelle Osborne, thank you guys for taking the time for Lauren. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
She's
what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
Keeps cutting out the audio because we're talking. I didn't hear that again.
Teresa, she was a friend of mine from high school, or still.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's essentially where like the story ends, right? You had talked to her on the 28th. Supposedly that was the day, not that you had known that she was supposed to go for a few days with a friend to a hotel, and then no one had heard from her.
And then that is it.
Now, how was she supposed to get to the hotel? Do we know about that? Like, what was her transportation supposed to be for that?
Again, just speculation. I don't know for sure, but I would assume she walked to a gas station and then was getting an Uber, because the boyfriend did follow her to the gas station. And then he turned around and headed back to the house. And she would Uber everywhere, and it wasn't close enough for her to walk.
Right.
So imagine whoever she was meeting picked her up or something.
Did you guys try to get a hold of Uber to see if maybe they could confirm there were any rides to that Best Western from the gas station?
Yeah, so I tried reaching out, and they're not without like a subpoena or a search warrant, they're not giving anything up. So I did, I let the detective know whether he did or not. Again, I'm in the dark. No idea.
Right.
So, did she have a phone with her when she went missing?
Yes, she did.
Do you know?
So the boyfriend had called the hotel room, I think, all 3 days that she was there or supposed to be there. He had kept calling because he was calling her cell phone and she wasn't answering. So then he called the room and no one was picking up. And then her phone died. What was it? January 2nd or the 4th? Somewhere right around there. It died and hasn't been turned on since.
No, they must have been able to ping roughly where that was. Was it still at the Best Western?
I don't know if they ever did that or not. Never told me. And so because I was able to get into her iCloud and her Apple, all of the whatever that service stuff is, I even checked like with her Google Maps, and because you can look up like location history, she had it all turned off, all of her GPS. So even being able to see, I think it was up like a couple months prior, she had turned it all off. But she was losing her phones and she'd get a new one. So I don't know if it was just she forgot to go and turn it on or if she purposely turned it off. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how it works for cloud stuff, but like images, with GPS maybe turned off, I don't know, it might be kind of hard, but usually they'll have like that geotagging, like the geolocation sort of thing for the image itself. Like sometimes that will be like embedded in the data of the photo, but I'm not entirely sure how all of that works. If that's something that when she disabled that, if it would shut that off too, or if it would even transfer to the cloud with those files. But it really feels like it's been this long. There should be something that the investigators should have done. You should have some more answers than this.
I mean, it's literally like she just dropped off the face of the earth and there's been nothing. I mean, bank accounts I'm in and there has been nothing. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do anymore, where to look, who to, it's where do I point them either?
Mm-hmm. What has PD told you? It sounds like they've been very evasive about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they haven't really told me much. Everything.
And hopefully it's just because they're not saying much, or hopefully it's that instead of they haven't done anything, so they don't have an answer.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping, is that they're still working some angles and they just don't want to put it out there, is what I'm hoping.
So you should request like all the files they do have on her, because if it's a missing person case, it's not a criminal case, so they should be able to share that information with you, right? Or have they declared her like a endangered missing or something to that effect?
I don't believe she's endangered missing yet. I think she's still just missing is the classification.
Yeah, so if I were you, I would try to push to get as much information as you can from them. If it's just a missing person case, it's not a criminal case. And then if they say, well, there's potential of being a criminal case, or they then up it, make it more severe than if you're not going to share information with me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can get something from them.
Hopefully. What were you going to say, Jeff? Sorry.
Well, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot over the last couple of cases. Is people going missing a thing that happens in that area often, or
more often than you'd think? There was a girl, very similar situation, and she had been missing. Police were working her case, and I think it was really sad situation too. And, the Cook County morgue, or the coroner's office, had actually had her for like 6 months to a year and just never put that was her. So she went missing, and I think it was like 2 or 3 years before that happened.
Oh man!
But it's Chicago. It's a big city. There's a lot of crime. I think it's something quite often.
Yeah. Okay. Is like the only thing that I can think is like, and again, I've said this on the last couple of these, is I'm wondering if it's like a human trafficking situation.
Yeah, that's one of the possibilities, I would think. Especially like with the amount that go in the area that they are. Yeah, it's a good possibility.
Have you received tips, or the Missing Woman of America? Have they received any tips on Lauren's case at all?
Not lately. There was one guy, probably 4 months ago now, that said he was a over the road truck driver, and swore up and down that somebody had seen her in Indianapolis. So I did go down for a weekend because I was living in Indiana. So I drove down, met up with a couple people that I knew down there, and we walked around, handed out flyers. And I even talked to, it was like a manager at a Knights Inn in Indianapolis. And he swore up and down to my face that girl was here. But said that she was with some guy, a white guy. But they didn't use, credit cards or anything. They used cash, but they were like hotel or motel hopping every couple days. And then nothing ever came from that.
Yeah, so Missing Women from America said we've had a couple that wound up being different girls. At least people are trying. Like that's something encouraging, at least, that people are actually out there trying to help. And
yeah.
Do you have you thought of using like video of her? Do you have any videos of her talking and her mannerisms? Because I know that helps a lot too, for someone to see a video of someone versus just a still picture. That might be something you want to try to do to get out there too.
Yeah, I don't know that we did try putting a video out there. I'd have to look. God, it'd be probably going back years through a million Facebook videos trying to find something, because I don't think there were any good ones that I, would want to share that would actually show anything in like her iCloud.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah,
there are some more pictures of her up here. Yeah, she looks just like she's a sweet girl. You can tell, kind-hearted, great smile, sassy apparently.
Yeah, I can only imagine how frustrating this is, being in your situation with, just, yeah, like you said, just sort of like she dropped off the face of the planet and not getting any answers from the police, anything.
Yeah, it really is. It'd just be nice if they could give me something, like, or at least just say, yes, we are still working on it, which I don't even get that. All I just get is, no, there's been no updates, no new leads. And like, that's it.
And there's been absolutely no activity on any social media account of hers, correct?
Nope, nothing.
Awful.
What do you want people to know about your sister? Or if they do see her, is there a message you'd like to get out to her?
Yeah, the message that we'd want is just reach out. Doesn't have to be to, me or mom, dad, brother, anyone. Just reach out to someone and let us know that you're there. You don't want to come back, that's fine. Just let us know so we can put it all to rest. And just for people out there, just keep sending in tips, calling in, letting us know, possible sightings, and we'll do what we can to get out there and take a look for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justice for Robin Warson Jr. said, Michelle, if you need help putting a video together, I have all the time in the world, would love to help you. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you guys have a Facebook page or anything set up for her?
Yes, Missing Women of America, Susan, she got one together.
Okay. Yeah. And so are you guys just going through the Missing Women of America, or does she has a separate website or a separate Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in one of the groups here. The Help Find Lauren Ashley Willhoit.
Willhoit, yes, that one.
Okay. Yeah, so help do that. That's the name of it. Help Find Lauren Willhoit. That's the Facebook page. If anyone has any information or any questions or anything, go there and there we go.
Go back to that.
Melissa here says, my sister has been missing for 5 years. I know the feeling all too well. That is awful. I'm really sorry to hear that, Melissa.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, Melissa.
Melissa, reach out to us after if you want, and we can try to cover your sister's case as well.
I think that's supposed to be Amber. Thank you for what you're doing. Absolutely. Now this is handled by the Cook County Sheriff's Department, like you were saying. If anyone does have anything that you don't want to send through Facebook, whatever, if you have any information at all, you can reach out to them and let them know what you know. It's just baffling that there isn't more, that they're, again, like I said, hopefully they're just holding back or they're not giving you anything. Maybe they're working stuff. They can't say much, but something, even just to say, yes, like we're still working on it, or like there's got to be something, like they know the name of the person who had the room, supposedly. Like they definitely can track where someone was pinged last or where the phone might have been. Like there's stuff that they have to know, or they should be able to know. And if they're not getting those answers, and to me, it seems like just negligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Emma said, found you covering the Emily Heber case. My tongue's all tied up.
Yeah, that's a strange case too. Let's see. Does anyone else have any other questions before we take off here?
Did you have anything else that you wanted to say, Michelle?
No, not really. Just want to find her. I want answers. I want the nightmare to be over.
I was just gonna ask you, because I'm all into the psychics and paranormal type stuff. Have you had any dreams about your sister?
No, I haven't. But we did reach out to a couple different like psychics, medium, things like that. Nothing ever really came of any of it.
I was just curious. I've asked that a few times now.
Amy Piper Jackson says, praying for your sister every day, Battle Buddy.
Hi, Amy. Thank you.
All right. If there are any questions from anyone watching, we'll probably be getting done here pretty soon. So if you have anything you want to say or any questions you want to ask, that'll be the time. We probably should do hashtags. We're kind of boomers when it comes to stuff like this sometimes.
When I upload videos, I'll add a few hashtags. So it's usually like missing, Maine, that type of stuff, or wherever the person's from, because we're out of Maine. But that's a good idea. Thank you, Amber. And then she says, "Oh, sorry, I just clicked over you. How about you doing? And I want to see your channel grow. So do we." Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, and justice for Robbie Moore, since you were said, definitely got you in my prayers as well. So again, Cook County Sheriff's Department, if you have any information, also the Help Find Lauren Willhoit Facebook page. Oh, just lost. Oh, there we go. That's the Facebook page. If you have anything, any information, please definitely reach out. And we're really sorry that you're going through this. Any updates that you guys get, let us know. We'll share that out as well. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, so much. Our hearts are with you. Please reach out if you need anything else from us. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. We're going to end this now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.